Hey, coming to you live from the studios of Dee and Dory. Yeah, is another exciting
pattern adventure, sewing adventure. Does that work?
Blank mind.
This was our
Sheer.
chiffon. Well, I thought it was chiffon. She said sheer.
It was sheer.
She went. Y'all seen the drawing? She went with sheer and I went with chiffon. So we'll see what we end up with. Okay, how this worked.
So Aesop is our man of the day. Who is Aesop? He's a Greek storyteller and also a fable. He's famous for his fables. Born in 620 BCE and died in 564 BCE. Now we're talking long term here, man. His sayings are still like relevant today.
Well, yeah, and the one fable that he wrote is The Tortoise and the Hare.
Oh.
Most of us are familiar with that.
We know about that tortoise and that hare. Yes, we do. And not this kind of hair.
No, as in rabbit hair.
Yes. Rabbit hair.
Well,
Okay, anyway,
no, okay.
What did he say? No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted.
That goes with the saying, if you don't know what to do, do the kind thing. It's always the right thing.
You putting a twist on Aesop?
Yes, I am.
Wow.
He's an old guy.
I like that, though. You know, even if it's just a small act of kindness, it's never a waste to be kind.
So even clear back then, people needed reminders to be kind,
Yeah,
to be nice.
yeah. And it's a good reminder for today.
It is.
Because I think that a lot of people behind me not so kind when they're driving.
I've had
so
that happen too.
other people have experienced it, obviously.
Yeah.
So be kind to one another,
Yeah,
even if
be
it's
nice.
a small kindness. Be nice, be kind. So yeah, this is my sheer make.
And it's beautiful. When
Thank
she
you.
first showed me that fabric and how the pattern was laid out on that fabric, because
It kind of
it's curved. It was curved on the fabric.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you going to do with that? But it turned out great.
yeah, it's funny because it almost looks like it's supposed to be
It
that
does.
way.
It does, yeah.
So, yeah, I got this at a thrift store for $2.48. It was 2 5/8 yards. So this was $2.48 to make, plus my other binding stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you want to hear how I was able to?
Oh, you did?
Yeah, everything. Everything has a binding on it.
Okay.
Every seam, every facing, every hem has something on it.
Okay.
I changed my stitch length from normally on that machine it's 2.2. I changed it to 1.8.
Okay.
Which, let me tell you, you don't want to have to take that out.
It's teeny tiny.
It's tiny. But I also changed my needle to a universal 80/12. And that was I used my DC 3050, do you know me, on this? And so that was the instruction that they said. And I had no issues with using this fabric, doing it that way.
Good.
So pay attention to what your manual says.
Oh, yeah, that's huge because I changed my needle too to the smaller.
Yeah,
to the,
change your needle, change your, And it was funny because mine will even say whether it's a blue needle, a universal needle, or,
Oh,
It was very interesting. So I did say universal, yeah. Yes, so I did do something else is the pattern, which I haven't even told you, is Butterick 5955. Butterick 5955. And I made view D, which is up here, view D. And it's very interesting because they wanted you to have a seam down the front and a seam down the back. And then there's a yoke. I don't know.
oh, so you did some pattern hacking too.
I did.
You have
So
a yoke
there's-
back here.
I have a yoke back there, and they wanted a seam in the middle of the yoke. And I'm like, I'm trying to do as little seams as possible with this type of fabric.
Mm-hmm.
So I just put it on the fold.
So you did some pattern hacking, and I did some
Oh,
pattern
did you?
hacking.
Yeah.
So this will be.
Yeah. So that's what I did. I changed it to putting everything on the fold, and I trimmed the seams about a 1/2 inch. Why did I write that down? I wrote it down because it was something I needed to tell you, but I cannot remember why I wrote it down. So who knows? Apparently I had something to convey that was important, but has left my mind.
Okay. All right.
That's the way it goes sometimes.
So you made it much simpler. How was it to sew on then and putting in all the...
It was fine to sew on because it would frays like crazy. Like I said, I did put some seam binding on everything because it frays like crazy. And I tried to put it through my serger and I didn't like the way it looked.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, nope, I'm just going to seam bind it. And I did try to do a rolled hem on the sleeves, but I should have done the rolled hem first. So
Before you put it together?
Before you put it together, because I couldn't get it to roll where the seams were, because I had the binding already on the seams.
Oh, too thick.
Too thick for rolling, using the rolling hem foot. So I put lace binding on the sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had to do 2 rows of top stitch on the sleeve because I use this lace binding. Looks like I have to cut a thread here. Because I use this lace binding. So the first row was to make it close to where the hem is, and the second is to keep the lace binding from flipping out.
Oh, that's a good detail to know.
I did that the same on the binding up here.
Yeah, to keep it, because I have something that the binding wants to flip out.
Yeah, so I just
that
added an extra
row in that
of top stitches.
keeps it in place.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Good. It's really
So
cute.
that's my make. Let's watch the review. All right. There you have it. Something I can wear with jeans. I could probably wear with a skirt too. But I think it looks great just bumming around in it.
Yeah, it looks great. I like it. It's adorable. Very, very nice.
Yeah. It turned out better than I thought it would actually.
There we go. Mine's sliding down the back there. There.
Oh,
Very,
tell us
very
about
nice.
yours. I want to hear about yours.
Mine is made out of a chiffon. Ha! And I made it out of NewLook 6573. Did some pattern hacking with it because you see this has an open front. They all have open fronts.
Oh.
I did not want to do an open front.
Oh, okay.
It also is stitched up on the side of the arms.
Right, and yours is not?
And mine is not. I left them open.
Get
I
it
may,
right.
I don't know. I may somewhere in here tack it in a place or two, but I don't think it really needs to be stitched.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you always wear something under it.
Yeah, you always wear
you
something
can't wear
to
these
share.
without something under it.
Yeah, for sure. Now I did look at a couple of tips on sewing with chiffon. Like Doris, I did get the appropriate needle according to my user manual to my machine for this type of thin fabric.
Mm-hmm.
Also, with this, it suggested leaving long tails when you begin to sew, so you can kind of help pull the fabric through the feed dogs, so you wouldn't get the nesting. I also have on my machine a fabric sensor that tells you, you know, is your fabric thin, is it thicker? So I set that up. I turned that portion on. I haven't really sewed with that before, but I did that.
That's nice.
And for my you want to hold on to that? I did do I turned it under and did a hem.
Yeah.
Is what I did. Turned it
So
under
yours
twice.
doesn't fray as much as mine.
It does fray terribly.
Oh.
And I'll tell you what I did was I spray starched this and I ironed it under, which did it, and then I starched it again, and that really helped to keep that in place.
Okay.
Now, this is
I
what
like
Dory,
that.
see that? That's the selvage edge.
Yeah.
With the pattern piece I laid out came about this far from the selvage edge. I said, I'm not cutting that. I'm keeping the selvage.
Yeah.
I got a piece of my hair there, sorry. So I said, I'm going to keep that because that is always a tighter weave. You can see it. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You can see it on camera. That's a tighter weave than this, but it's just the selvage. So I'm like, it's on the edge, and that'll save me from sewing on this. I did do, and you'll see in the little clip, I have a clip Dory needs to put in here, about how difficult it is to find the true grain for this. And I had not done this for years, but they had suggested that you would take and pull a thread, one thread all the way through to find the true grain. So that's what I did. I pulled it through, and you will see in the clip the difference in the way the grain was. At one end I started, it was right on the edge of the grain, and I ended up having to cut off like 8 inches. Because it was that crooked, because this is such a difficult fabric
to cut.
Every
should I put that in now?
Yeah, you can stick that in now so they can see that.
Let's stick that in.
All right, so the importance of making sure your chiffon is laying with the grain. I took one thread here at the beginning of the selvage and pulled the thread. Let me see, pulled the thread, and you can see as you follow it through, this finds the straight of the grain for you. Fold it through, you follow it through, and you can see, once we get down to the opposite end, how much off grain this selvage was cut. And I think it comes up to being about, let's see, 6-7 inches difference. How much is that? That's 1 to, where is it? There it is. To about 8 inches. 8 inches difference in the selvage. Of course, this all has to be cut to make this even, so when I lay it out, it will be with the grain in it, so it won't lay wonky. So just a little tip to do, and it's not that hard to do. Okay. So you can see the difference there. Also, it's very important to lay this on single fold to cut it.
Single fold.
Well, open. Don't put a fold in it at all.
Just
lay it open, single layer. Because no matter how carefully you think you're going to do this, it slips and it slides. You can pin the edges all the way up, and you can, because I did try to do it on the fold, and I had some challenges, and I pinned the edges all straight so they wouldn't move. I pinned everything on the fabric so it wouldn't move.
Wow. And
I even used a rotary cutter to cut it with, which was a recommendation, and you want to try to do that too. Use your rotary to cut it with, because this is such a persnickety fabric. But I also have read that once you get used to using this and all of the little quirks of it, you absolutely will enjoy working with chiffon.
So that leads me to the question, will you make something out of chiffon another time?
I might. I may.
I have some still at home, some in my fabric stash, so.
Well, and then
I
also,
will, but.
This pattern actually had, you can see kind of like the circle there for the neck, and I did use that on the fold, but they wanted you to cut the back they left, it was one big piece. So they left the back without a seam, but the front they wanted you to cut this all the way open. So I didn't do that. I just made a circle here. I cut it and I made it like a little circle there. And then I turned this under twice to do that.
Yeah.
So, and then I back and forth the stitch way down here at the bottom of the V-neck here, back and forth with some stitching to reinforce it so it wouldn't fray crazily. Yeah. Let's see, is there anything else? Oh, and this fabric I bought years and years ago. Must have bought the rest of what was on the bolt, because I have a remaining bolt of this.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know what I thought I was going to do.
I love, well, let's look at the reveal.
Oh.
Did we look at that?
I got it at Walmart's for $1 a yard. Years
really?
and years ago.
Let's look at the reveal.
Okay.
See, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I'm not
like it
too
a
crazy.
lot.
I wanted it to be more casual.
I love the colors in it.
I like it
I like the
belted.
style.
Thank you very much. I think I really might do something with the sleeve here to tack it in a place or two. And I like it with the belt on it. I don't like it just free, but maybe, with the black plain dress underneath it, it did well. So
Great.
yeah, it doesn't look so bad that way. I was like, not so sure, but anyway.
Yeah. Well, if you have some green corduroys for pants, green corduroy pants would look good at that.
It would. You're right.
Okay.
But anyway, you can give it a try. And chiffon does have its challenges, but it does make up beautifully. And launders wonderfully. Did I wash this? I don't know if I washed it or not, but it launders
I did
well.
wash mine. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured it's just if it shrinks a little bit, it's not going to hurt it.
Yes. Wait, large. Yeah.
We'll see.
Should we draw for our next?
Oh, we should. So we both did some pattern hacking with it. And that's the joy of sewing. You can always do how you want it to be, and leave out some stitching if it'll work.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to
Right.
be complicated.
Yeah. This would look bad, I think, with a seam down the front.
Yeah, I don't like the idea with the seam down the front on
Yeah.
that. Yeah, either.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
we talk about corduroy, and I don't know if I have any corduroy.
Oh well, I have lots, so you can have some of mine if you'd like. If you'd like to shop in my corduroy shop.
Yeah, because I don't think I have any.
So she drew corduroy.
I drew
I
corduroy.
think that's hilarious because I just said, green. I don't know if I have green corduroy, but I do have corduroy. Well, we are definitely thinking fall with corduroy,
Yeah, definitely. So
but that's okay because by the time we get it made,
it'll be close to fall.
it'll be close to fall. It'll be heading that way.
Yeah,
so.
well, so the cooler
Yeah,
weather. So.
yeah, very good. So don't forget to be kind. Even a small act of kindness will not be wasted. So be kind.
Yes.
Leave us a comment.
Yes, we love your comments. We enjoy them.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We look forward to them.
Yes, like, subscribe,
Forward.
etc., etc.
Yes. Pass this on to your friends.
See you next week.
All right.
All right.
Enjoy your week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.